So now we're going to draw a dude. Dudes are a little bit less rounded. So we do 7 heads for the guy, 7.5. Okay, and then we draw in his head, and we draw the bottom of his feet. That's usually how I like to get this started. So, got his bottom of his feet, got the top of his head. The head is like the only thing that's not going to be a triangle. In fact, I'll just make it a little bit of like a rounded triangle. Why not? Okay, then I don't know why I like to start from the bottom and then like connect it to the top, but you can do it however you want. You can either work from top down, or I kind of like doing it like going back and forth between the two because I feel like that helps me not fuck up the proportions. I can see like where am I going to meet in the middle a little bit better. But yeah, you can just watch how I do it and then see which way works best for you. Okay, so I like to draw a triangle for the feet. Think of it like how flippers on a scuba diving, like if you're going snorkeling, they're kind of like a triangle. Sort of just the same thing we were talking about with the women's feet. It's this triangle that kind of gets cut off at the top. But just for the sake of this kind of elementary shape demonstration, I'm not going to cut off the top. I'm just going to put in triangle after triangle and then start fleshing shit out. Okay, so we've got triangle there. I like to do a triangle for the knees in the same place that we did for women, right? It's halfway between this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, head number 6. Halfway between top and bottom of head number 6 is where we're going to put our knees. I'm even going to draw triangles for the knees. Doop. Oh, I didn't draw the meridian line for you guys. Sorry. Nice meridian line down the middle. Okay. My knees are on either side. And then I do a triangle for his calves. This is a different kind of triangle, right? This is like, is this an isosceles triangle? Guys, don't judge me on my geometry today, but it's a little bit more of a triangular shape like that. Okay. Okay, then I do another triangle up here. Same shape. So this kind of quickly comes to a point and then sharply comes down in a longer line. Then I knew to go to the hip line because it's halfway between 1, 2, 3, 4. This fourth head, it's around halfway is going to be the hip line. So here, can't be down here. Be up here, be around here. And I draw a triangle there for his hips. Ooh, it's going to be wide. And then I draw where the shoulders are going to be. It's right under, right around middle of this second head. That's where the shoulder line is going to be. And I use that shoulder line as a guide to draw my next triangle. And then I draw a triangle for the shoulders. And another triangle for the other shoulders. And again, that part where your elbow crease is right here is going to be halfway through that third head. Around halfway, a little bit lower. Okay, and then I just draw a little triangle there. Stop at the crotch line, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 heads down. Okay. Do the same thing on the other side. They're in line, yes. Okay, and then I draw my hands as triangles too. Okay, and then for the thumbs, I even do triangles. There we go. And then one more triangle for the neck. And then we have this kind of cubist style man. And we can start to connect his body parts as well. And that's where you start to kind of round things out a bit more. His pec line is going to be the same as a woman's, give or take. I mean, a woman's is probably going to be lower because her nipples are going to sag over time, but it depends how old your model is that you're working with. But I think probably the proportions that they offer in like traditional art is like a woman in her early 20s, so they're going to be pretty high up, almost as high as a dude's. Okay, and then I draw in the clavicles, those little diagonal lines right there that almost come to meet in the middle, but then they don't. They have a little pocket right there, a little divot. Okay, and then his belly button is going to be somewhere around here, under the chin of the third head down. Okay, and I'll just connect his torso to his thighs. He's going to have a little bit of hips. Not much. Not nearly as much as the woman. Okay, and then thighs come together. The knees kind of bulge out. Get that same parentheses. Thighs connect. Ankles connect to feet. We do that little line for the toe. Big toe connects in the center. Okay, and then you can just kind of make some dashy lines. Some squiggly line under that to create the shape or the illusion that there are toes. Maybe fill it in with some shadow just to make it look a little bit more like he's casting a shadow with his feet. And that's really what gives shape to the toes. And then we can draw the meridian line a little bit more pronounced right there. It's probably going to be a little bit of a curvy line if one leg is kind of in front of the other. Okay, and then his hips line is already kind of given to us because of that triangle. That's the little, I don't know, the muscles that lead to the crotch. And then you can draw it. You can look it up. You can look at your own. You can use your own imagination. But testicles and a penis in the middle. And maybe you want to do hair. Maybe not. A gestural line to allude to it. It's just basically, up to your discretion if you want to draw it or not, or how you want to draw it. But basically, it's like that, like a nose, but with a really long part in the middle. Okay, and then we draw the head. Same way we did the head of the female, right? It's line down the middle, line going through the center, big socket for eyes, little socket for nose, longer but still small socket for the mouth. And then for the hands, so I just like to follow the line that the triangles have made for me, because when you look at a hand from a distance and when it's dangling, it has this kind of triangular shape to it, right? Like it's about like that. It's a bad reference. Usually a hand, when it's just hanging limp at the side, has this kind of almost like a chili pepper look to it. So try getting that shape down Maybe you make a couple little gesture lines for the finger that would show the most, right? You can't see all of my fingers right now. You can see my thumb, and you can see basically these two, and these other two are hidden behind. So don't worry if you only see this line revealing two fingers in your drawing. Okay, and then maybe you flesh it out with some muscles, add some definition to that little arm elbow crease. And there you go. That's your dude.